I'm gonna tell you a very personal story. Once 2011 was a year. I was in middle school. I had a dream of playing a game that everybody was talking about, and that dream is playing a game called Skyrim. Everybody was talking about this and giving this game 10 out of 10, game of the year. I finally got a hold of Skyrim, but unfortunately my PC was absolutely garbage. It was a terrible platform for gaming that plays almost everything like an absolute ass. So I decided to ditch out that dream in favor of doing something else entirely, like, I don't know, playing my old PS2 because I don't have modern consoles back then. But then 2 years later, I got myself a new PC and an awesome graphics card. Skyrim ran beautifully in this rig. My dream took me 2 years to finally realize that I could finally play a game that I've been dying to play for years and years upon, and the game was alright. It's not great, it's not terrible, it's alright. Now, I was a huge Fallout 3 fan back then, and Bethesda is always in favor of modding because their games tend to be very incomplete, so I always fancy myself to go to Nexus and install a couple of mods that suits me and my taste. The first mod that I installed was Sky UI, which brings an incredibly intuitive, informative, and masterfully crafted UI that made Skyrim to look a lot less like my CSS projects. Then I installed tons and tons of mods here and there, like the immersive armors and weapons, the beautiful ENB mods, the character creation mods, the music mods, tons and tons of things to make my Skyrim experience a lot better than when I played it once last time. Cut back into now where I still love modding and I still love gaming, and where am I right now? I'm in college studying computers and making stupid YouTube videos. And that's my story. What? There's nothing special in it. Well, thankfully the Moral Guardians are here to make that story special.
How free hacking tools on the web can be leading kids into cybercrime.
But you see, ladies and gentlemen, for I am not a guy who is in college making stupid videos on the internet. I am, in fact, a Velvet Room assistant. What? You think these blue suits aren't for show? You think that I dress like this so that I can appeal to the rationales of the skeptic community trademark? No! Oh no. This is a dress that I use every day on my work. What I do is I unleash personas. What I do is to come into a place between a dream and reality, your conscious and subconscious, to help my master to take over the world and reality as we know it. Nah, I just like the blue dress. I can change it, in fact. Look! Multicolor! Rainbows! See if you can do that, skeptic community. See if you can be more inclusive than that. Haha! Okay, I'm screwing around too much. Let's just get to the article.
Gaming websites could be spawning a new breed of cybercriminals, according to new research which claims that young people are being indoctrinated into hacking crimes via free and easily accessible internet pages.
Yes, people. I have managed to hijack people's streams through manipulative social engineering and modding Skyrim so that I can have more weapons and more armors, and it looks good.
Websites and forums which provide cheat codes and modifications for video games are making it increasingly easy for young people to develop criminal skills and become involved in hacking chat rooms, a report by the UK's National Crime Agency has said.
OMG, this is too funny. What was the code to spawn money again? Give me a second. Console, yes, player at item F 10,000. There we go. I just hacked the World Bank for 10,000 caps. They're pretty much useless.
The report, which is based on conversations conducted between the NCA and British young offenders, identifies the sense of completing a challenge and proving oneself to peers as key motivators for young people. The absence of financial gain is seemingly attracting young people who would otherwise be unlikely to commit more traditional crimes, with many claiming to be unaware that their activities will be perceived as criminal.
Okay. Can you please describe to me what the kids are gonna do with these hacking powers that they have from modding video games? Is it modding video games, or is it to hack the system and the group collective so that we can all get to the next level? How in the name of God can modding video games make kids to become hackers? Like, no specific examples or correlations. You just be vague about the sites. Okay, this site that says hacking, cheats, gaming stuff. But at least there's one part that is legitimately threatening.
Readily available step-by-step tutorials for remote access Trojan, malware programs, and DDoS attacks are also making the skill barriers to cybercrime lower than it has ever been, the NCA suggests.
Now this is a legitimate threat. DDoSing and Trojans and viruses, they're rampant around, and yeah, the article has a point in that the more and more our technology advance, the more and more the tutorials in how to make these or access these or distribute all of these are a lot easier to find. and a lot easier to make and a lot easier to distribute. But what does this have to do with hacking games or modding video games? Is my attempts on making Skyrim less mediocre a gateway for me to become a computer hacker that will take over the world? Is there any sillier moral panic? Hell, BBC is pulling the same article without even questioning it because it's BBC. How are we going to prevent these hackers from taking over the world? Or at least do some criminal activities? By banning mods and game hacks altogether? Although if there's one thing that we can agree on is that cheaters are absolute scum. Multiplayer cheaters are absolute scum. Which is why I don't go to multiplayer. As it turns out, those that cheat by either using game hacks or DDoSing servers for the lulz, well, the odds aren't really in their favor.
Teen hackers behind DDoS attacks on Minecraft and RuneScape sentenced to 2 years in prison.
Huh. So maybe the moral panic has some merits after all. Before we end this video, huge thanks to our new patrons, Anon Patron and Iona Popa, for the pledges on Patreon. You guys are fantastic. And as for your request, Iona, I did both tackle Pepe the Frog as a racist symbol and Milk being racist in my video. Welcome to the memes. Go check that one out in the description. That's all for the video today. If you like this, you can go ahead, click like button, and subscribe for more. If you wish, you can support me on Patreon. And thanks for watching.